video is about why it's wrong to pretend that anyone is equal or greater than I am. Any path, any leader, any false idol, obviously, I'm the truth. Okay. So first, let's remember that not to act is as much of an act as to act. If you're in the middle of the desert, you have plenty of water, and someone's dying of thirst, and you don't give them water, do you say, am I my brother's keeper and act like an idiot? Or do you acknowledge that you should give them water? So we must look at things in terms of aim. What are you trying to do? Okay. When you go to school, are you there so you can be frustrated about your homework, complain about your teacher, and so on? Are you trying to make something of your life one day and have a long-term goal in mind? This is part of why it's an illness for people not to have morality as a long-term goal. Moral precision, a path, this is their goal, to walk in a moral way, in a way of righteousness along the path of justice every step of the way. So the people in charge know that you don't actually think that they're ideal. They're trying to confuse and abuse you by getting you to play this kind of game. Think about fantasy world, role-playing games. Think about the animation, the anime festivals, animus meaning spirit. With that being said, the word hell and the word hell, H-E-L-L-H-I-L-L, are similar to the word L, rhyme and reason, and the spelling, a magic spell. Okay, L, I-L-L, or I'll, is another way to look at it, okay, is what their aim is. Okay, their aim is to be sealed in hell and to be on board with a culture that's allowed when their own Bibles say that Satan is the god of this world, and it was like Corinthians or something. And of course, hell, therefore, is in this world partially. So in Revelations 20, the devil is defeated. The world is sealed in hell. Okay, if you really look at it carefully. Okay, people basically are outside the gates. Okay, and they're thrown into the lake of fire when they die, where they'll be tormented forever in various ways for various reasons. One of these reasons is that they live forever in disgrace. Their aim was to be a despicable piece of shit when all was said and done. The sum total, DNA backwards is and, so a disgrace to themselves and everyone like them. All right, so when we look at Narmer, he is the ideal, okay, of the ancient type, and he was trying to build toward moral excellence, is the message of the Narmer palette at least, and that he was trying to build the ideal martial art line to continue the pharaonic line. Horus is a god of war, so, and Horus is our type of pharaoh, just like in Exodus where it says the Lord is a warrior, Jeremiah, the Lord is with me like a mighty warrior, Zephaniah, mighty warrior, on and on, talking about might and powerful angels, and Jesus waging war with justice in Revelation 19:11 or something. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. All right. So what I am not is pink. I'm not gay, not LGBT. I'm not set-like. I'm not a nerd. I'm not a person with a complex. Basic. Be a sick son of a bitch. Be a sick puppy. Be a sick jackal. Be a sick crocodile. Be a sick hippo. Be a sick pig, and so on and so forth. Right? Be a conformist. Animus meaning spirit. Think about the animal spirit, animation. So if I say be a sick puppy, be a sick jackal, what is the spirit of the jackal? The principles of evil. Okay, and this kind of sickly way they have it, like Bill Gates or something. The guy who played Luke Skywalker. These are models of certain jackal looks that they've come into as a result of their paths and their sex cult cycles and so on and so forth. All right, so moral excellence. In order to get to heaven, to live a successful and morally excellent life, people can't cheat me out of my right to lead. Okay, it's very obvious. When we look at the Narmer palette, for example, you see Narmer, they usually change his face and they change his body, try to make him gayish, try to make him more European nose, and so on and so forth, as opposed to more of my nose, which is a mulatto nose. Okay, kind of negroid nostrils, kind of mixed with a gnomish, Europeanish nose. Okay, they try to make him seem more like a Nordic guy or some kind of Jewish guy or some kind of that kind of face, an elf kind of look. Okay, so obviously that's falsehood. Okay, if there's a water in the desert and you're dying of thirst, does nature say to you, well, you didn't know where the water is and you'll be good, or you better find where the water is? If you had 300,000 years as a bloodline to find where the water of life is, the water that leads to God is, should God and nature say to you then, and your offspring that you threw off a cliff, so to speak, that, hey, it's okay, you're still going to make it to heaven? No. No one can be established through wickedness, and you had hundreds of thousands of years as humans alone to find your way to my bloodline. There's no excuse for your lack of caring about justice and life. Your own Bible says in Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Even the number one is A meaning alpha in Greek, right? A and alpha. Number one. The first things first, okay? Which path did you choose and why? Where was your heart? Your heart was with the devil, you go to hell. It's that simple. Your heart's with Dagon and Baal and all these false idols, Molech and so on and so forth, Malboja, Lilith, and all this stuff. You go to where those horrible people go, and in the afterlife, those horrible people don't deserve to go to the same place that those people who suffered for righteousness' sake go. Matthew 5, blessed is he who persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Okay? So, it is immoral to pretend that people are similar to me or ideal for these reasons. If you don't know I'm right, you're an idiot. We can go through moral might, focus moral intelligence, focus moral intensity, moral precision, moral maturity, moral courage, moral will, moral discipline, okay, moral judgment. And we can add moral to most of the martial art principles, focus, moral focus, and what you end up getting is the ideal person. How could someone who's not moral be more ideal than someone who is? Anyone who thinks that's the case should be tortured and abused their entire life and say, hey, to you, morals don't matter. And if they matter, they really matter, okay? If you like money, you want tons of money, you can never get enough. If morals matter to you, you can never get enough. Your husband or wife's love matter to you, you can never get enough. So the ideal must include morals first and foremost. Any love derived from anything but morals, justice, and righteousness is not a valid love. It's a sickness. It's slut, which is lust scrambled. Prostituting yourself to other ideas, leaders, false idols as people, American idols, other gods, so to speak, with a little g. You have a God complex. You have a God problem where you do not worship the one true God. You have idolized some piece of shit. Thank you.